Now the fun of, are you able to be heard in mine? We'll find out in a second. It's just coming up. So keep talking. Hello everybody. Sounds good. We are going to start with a slight apology on my end. We have our first technical glitch, which is you can't hear Karsa at my end, so... Nope, that's not good at all. So yeah, anyone at my end, unfortunately, you're only getting one half of this conversation. Yeah, get out of your cryopod and I will be over in just a moment. It's fine, it's a new place. Right now, have a look and see how much you've got in your storage in terms of resources, ice, that sort of thing, just so we know what we're looking for. Because if I remember from Friday, the plan for tonight is to get you your first little mining exploring vehicle up and running. Hey Magica! And hello to my stream. I see we've got a few people drifting in, so welcome. Yeah, for my stream, just to reiterate, I am co-streaming with Karsa. Twitch has decided that I'm not allowed to broadcast Karsa's audio this time, so the wonders of yeah, we'll fix it. We'll figure it out. But yeah, I'm just on my way over to Karsa, and hoping that I don't upset too many of the NPC bases on my way over. Okay. Yeah, that's fine for now, yeah. Unless we start running your vehicle off of a hydrogen engine, you're fine. Yeah, unless you go for actual gas-powered vehicle, you're fine. Yeah, not a bad idea. Considering you've got some slightly unfriendly neighbours about 5 kilometres away. Though, looking at what they are, they shouldn't come and bother you unless you go and bother them. Yeah. Yep. Well, your Gatling turrets on the roof will only reach out to 800 metres anyway, so... You should be able to. I'm just coming into land at your Your little base. I brought something that isn't the size of your base this time. Yeah, for those that missed Friday, the vehicle I drove over here was about twice the size of Karsa's base. So... this is the Mark 1 of the thing that I was building. So this is the original one. I haven't finished the upgraded version yet. Yeah, there are a lot of thrusters on this. Yeah, I was going for somewhere around Star Trek Runabout. Yep. Yep. Little bit of defence on the roof, a little bit of cargo. Okay, go for it. So we've got a little bit of cargo space, a respawn point, a couple of seats. We've got a mini refinery buried in the wall. On the other yeah, that's a mod, by the way, that lets you put full refineries and assemblers on a small grid like this. Normally you can't. But yeah, that's something we've got on this server. Is it's the small grid mega mod pack. So it also gives us these faster than light drives that are hidden either side of the airlock. Yeah, this thing will do a 7,500 kilometer light speed jump, which is more. That's more than enough to jump between planets in this star system. Yeah. Fair enough. It does. It does. Yep, let's start teaching you how to use the build planner. Right, so what you need to find is where your nearest cargo access point is. And unfortunately that is not a cargo access, that's a conveyor. So I think the easiest one you've got is down the back off of your hydrogen tank. Careful. So this connector, yeah, this connector here. Now you'll notice this has got a sort of grey background with the two bars through the middle, in the centre of it. So if you look at the actual centre of the connector, if you see that, that's a cargo access point. So if you look at it, you'll have a button key to open the inventory of the connector. That's the one you want to press. Yep. Now, in here you've got access to your entire cargo system if you use the filters on the right hand side. By default it will just show you the connector, and then you can change through the filters to show everything connected to it, or just the power, or just the, that grid. You've got a few options. Now the important buttons are right in the middle of your two halves of your inventory. So you've got one that says withdraw components for build planner, and below that add components from build planner to production. Got those? Interesting. Yeah, because there you go. Right, there we are. interesting that they give you a slightly different interface to console. Because we don't have the deposit ore one. For us, that's just a key combination on the controller. We don't have a button for that. So, yeah, so though that withdraw and add are what we're going to use with the build planner. Now, the first thing we need to do is tell your build planner what you want to build, or in this case, what you want to repair. So, right, so grab your welder out, and we go back up to your turret that you want to fix. So, the first thing that you want to do is weld your turret. Yes, yeah, buildings do hurt. When flown into at high velocity, buildings will sting a little. So yeah, first thing is, weld up your turret, and it will start getting the scrap metal out of it. Yeah, you've got a few things you need. So while you've got your welder pointed at it, you see down in the bottom right, you've got a list of components. Anything that's greyed out, you need to get. I think that you're... Yeah. You can stop welding now. If there's any scrap metal, you'd have got it now. Yep. Now, you can either be really smart and remember all those components, or you can be like me and be lazy and use the build planner. Okay, now, for you, you may have to look up what the controls are for your build planner, because there is a way you can add with the welder. I think it's control click, but I'm not sure. That's it. Okay. And you should get a little message saying component added to build planner when you do it. Excellent. Now if you ever want to see what you've got on your build planner, because you can have up to 8 different blocks loaded into your build planner at any one go, if you push your G menu to bring up all of your blocks, down in the bottom right hand corner you should have something that says build planner. Yeah, very bottom right hand corner you should see build planner, and it will have a little picture of a Gatling turret that's partly shaded in, if it's worked properly. Okay, what are you seeing? Yep, excellent, it worked. So now we've told it what we want to build, we need to go and order those parts. So if we go back to our cargo access point, yep, it's the nerves. I know it's not. I know it's not. Right. Now, if you go into your inventory, you want to queue up the parts first. So you want to add components from build planner to your production queue. So if you click that button, and if you now, yeah, so if you click that and then move across to your production tab at the top, you will so if you look up, yep, you've got production, and you'll see that there's now a whole bunch of stuff getting processed in your assembler. So that is going through and building the things you need to fix your turret. I think you may have added it a couple of times, but that's fine, because it means you've got spare parts. Spare parts are never a bad thing. Now it looks like you're running out of some material, because you can see items are going red. So if you want to find out what's missing, you can just mouse over that component and it should tell you what material's missing. Yep, So you've got plenty of iron at the moment. Well, I say plenty. You've got iron, but you've run out of nickel and silicon. Now I'm just going to tidy your build queue up a little bit. So yeah. Oh, probably yeah. So what you need to do now is go back to your inventory and then use the withdraw components for Build Planner, and it should put them into your inventory. Is that because your inventory's full? Is your bar at the bottom red? Okay. Why you no let Karsa withdraw motor? Let's have a look. You do have motors. Try it one more time. No. Yep. So let's go do that. Yeah, I do fly a lot. Yes. Yeah, flying will make that easier. But it does mean I could be a gentleman and get the door for you. It's alright. The medical bay's faster. Right, I'm all top back up. Yeah. Yep. Right, and I've just found something. That's alright. I have just found something in your base that is definitely spare parts. Which is what's left of the AI control block that was behind your seat. So I've just ground that down so you've got some more parts. Excellent! That's what we like to see. That's what we're here for, stream. Learning. Hey, Dovakin. Yeah, I can't see Karsa's chat, so... Fair enough. Greetings. Right. Excellent. Well, let's go and put the parts you've got in your turret. It was the one at the other end. Because we may have done a different amount of damage to them. You're looking a little bouncy over there, Karsa. Oh, that's not good. It's fine, it's a newish game. You're still... That would do it. That would do it. It's fine. Everything's fine here. There you go, all the parts you need. Ah, I know why it told you you'd run out of motors, because it was trying to withdraw several turrets worth. So you might have enough to go and fix the other one. Good. Yeah, that's your barrel roll. Yep, that's all you're missing, is the motor. Yep. The good news is, because we shot these before they shot at us, it's still full of ammo. So, that's always a bonus. Right then, so I think we need to go and get you some more resources. So, if we jump in my little runabout, we'll fly over to your hole. And we'll just fill up the runabout. No, gravity hurts. There are 2 Gatling turrets on this ship. I will admit, I haven't set up the passenger controls because this is a bit of a temporary vehicle. So, right then, where's... Oh yeah, this is mainly a cargo hauler. Now, are you in the third person or the first person view at the moment? So can you see all of those little markers that are now around us saying gold, silver, cobalt? Yeah, so, yeah, green is friendly, red is enemy, blue is allied, and the gold... it's whatever cycles your antenna settings. Ah, thank you, assumed. This is a little runabout I threw together the other night when I realised I didn't have anything to get between planets. This is a Mark 1, there's an improved one I'm designing. Cool, so you can now see all the resources near your base, because I've got an ore detector. So, if I remember... Yep. So... We need silicon and we need nickel. So... Yeah, the nickel deposit is under the ice. So if we head up into the hills and let's go and find that silicon, we will need to get some more iron anyway, so we might as well get the iron deposit that's up here as well. And you will want to GPS... Hey look, more nickel. You will want to GPS where this magnesium is, because magnesium means bullets. So I would suggest that when we land you put a GPS down, so that you can find all of the fun resources again. Yeah, assumed this is definitely not my only ship. What we've got here is I am teaching Karsa how to play Space Engineers, because she hasn't played before, and we're using my existing survival server to teach her. So I have a huge, great, fully functional base 13 kilometers that way. This is my little daily driver runabout at the minute. I don't have any proper starships, but I do have lots of land vehicles and atmospheric craft. So, whilst Karsa is setting up her GPS points, where did I leave my spare drill? There it is. I even packed a better drill for the journey. I did. Excellent. Right. I'm not sure if we'll both fit in the small version of this airlock. Ooh, just. Yeah, but that's the small grid one, so it's a tiny bit smaller. We did. Right then, so we need silicon, which is over here. So we don't end up drilling each other. If you want to start going for the silicon, I will start digging all the way down to the iron. Yeah, so I would suggest using the right-click drill to get down to that height without collecting stuff. You can... You might have to get closer to the floor. The drill is quite picky about how close you get to the floor before it starts working. To the point where I've actually had to use the jetpack to basically lay on the floor before now. Got it? Yeah, so we're not really interested in stone at the moment. We're much more interested in ore. So if you're generating little balls of ore, yeah, you want to use the other mouse click with your drill to destroy rather than harvest. And it'll make a bigger hole as well. More or less. It's showing... It will actually look slightly different from the stone around it, so if you turn on your lights, if you haven't already, it will look slightly different from the stone. I'm showing it about 7 meters this way. Excellent. That's alright. I'll go back to digging my hole. So, assumed... Where did you find me from? Because that is not a screen name I recognise in my chat. So... And I'm always interested to know where people found me. I mean, new people are always welcome, so do not feel that you are not welcome here. We accept all. As long as you're chilled out and enjoy some silly games, you're welcome. Well, we've got the runabout upstairs, so feel free to just go and empty your inventory into it and we'll unload at your base. Just dump it in the runabout. It'll process it through. It'll quite happily chew through that. We shouldn't run out of storage too quickly. It's got a couple of medium cargo containers on it, so... And it's a short hop back to your base. Not only that, we've got a full refinery on there, so it'll actually start processing. Hey, there's the iron. So for anyone that's playing Space Engineers, iron is this nice red ore. You can use the connectors on the outside. Yep, there's one either side and one on the roof. Oh, that's cool, assumed. Well, I'm glad you decided to just drop in randomly while scrolling through Twitch. You are most welcome. I do Space Engineers predominantly. This is literally the first episode of a new co-op survival series, so this is going to be going on for a while on Wednesdays. And Sunday, this is a little bit of a spoiler. I haven't properly announced this one yet, so I guess this is me announcing it. I will be starting a new co-op series on Sunday this week. Of a game called Generation Zero. So I won't distract us too much from the Space Engineers with it right now, but there'll be a 4-player, hopefully, co-op series of Generation Zero kicking off on Sunday. Excellent. That's the iron hole. Yeah, that's the iron hole. I have a habit of, because I use my jetpack so much, running out of fuel whilst I'm down the bottom of the hole, so I try and make them slope. Okay, first change that I am making to the Mark II of this is some way on the outside of being able to refill your energy and hydrogen and oxygen. Because at the minute, we've got to go inside and use the survival kit. That sounds like you are were part of a much larger group than the group I play with. Assumed that's proper faction building right there. If you had dedicated cargo pilots and companies and trading with people, that's some impressive going. I feel a bit bad for you that your group fell apart after a disagreement, but yeah, that's it sounds like you had a good thing going there. So. Just, I suppose, remember the good times you had. I don't know how long you've not been playing SE, but a lot has changed over the last year. They've really stepped up the development a little bit. So I suppose their 8-year anniversary might have spurred them on a bit. Because yeah, that's right. Space Engineers was 8 years old in October this year.
Inventory full.
Ooh, why did it say ice cannot be deposited? That's a little worrying. Have we already filled the cargo system between the two of us? There's room in the connector. The basic refinery is having a bit of a meltdown. Oh, we are filling stuff up quite quickly. I think we filled it. Hold on a second, where's my medium? Let me just check the cargo for a second. No, the medium cargo container has got plenty of room in it. Hey Razul, yes, we are collecting compressed rust, also known as iron ore. I'm good, thanks. How are you? Okay, Karsa, I've realised one thing that we hadn't anticipated with this co-op stream. Us talking to two different chats at the same time is going to get confusing. Yep. Yep.
Inventory full.
Right. Yeah, unfortunately, the way I stream, I don't have access to the multi-stream. Easily, anyway. Okay, while you're doing that, I'm just going to answer a quick question from Razul on my chat while we're doing this. We are hand collecting the rust because whilst I have a fully set up ship and base a couple of kilometres that way, this is Karsa's first proper day of survival. So I am deliberately using mostly the tech that Karsa has available rather than the slightly more advanced stuff that I have. So that is why, yeah, which is why we are not playing with piston drills just yet. I don't think we're full. Because I'm pretty sure if I search for the medium cargo containers, yeah, the 2 medium cargo containers are empty. Which, I bet I know what the cause of that one is, which will be the connectors full. Try it now. That's very strange. You may have to manually put it into the system. Right, Razul, we are actually playing this by Xbox rules. So, whilst I am on a server and do have access to scripts, I haven't inflicted scripting on Karsa yet. In fact, this vehicle does not have a programmable block on it. Yep. Incidentally, Karsa, Razul says that Alt-right-click should just dump your materials into an inventory without having to be in the inventory screen. Still giving you an error? Excellent. It's going well, Karsa. There we go. Yeah, Razul, I do agree with you that mining drones, PAB script is fantastic for that. We are having to play by Microsoft's rules for console edition. What have you done, Karsa? Or don't I want to know? Oh, doors on the back. Yeah, so Karsa does have access to the vehicle. Yeah, she definitely has access. It is shared with faction. Otherwise, she wouldn't be able to put anything in there. But what we're aiming for here, chat, is we're just trying to get enough basic materials together that Karsa can build her own little scouting stroke mining vehicle. Rather. Okay, we may need to temper Karsa's expectations as to what her first vehicle is going to look like. Because this is not a starting vehicle. Yeah, this is very much this is a heavily modded, not starting vehicle. So we've got a pretty limited mod list running. I might as well just tell everyone, as it's probably going to be something Space Engineers people want. So we are running Modular Encounter Spawner. With surface occupation for our current level of NPCs. At some point soon I will be introducing Karsa to air traffic, but that will not be this week. What we are also running is the Azimuth Mega Pack, hence all of the lovely Azimuth thrusters all over this vehicle, and Azimuth Remastered for the turrets. We also have the Small Grid Mega Mod Pack running, which is how I've got oxygen generators on here, a full refinery, a full assembler, all of those. For the Observant, we have the rotary airlocks mod. That is running on here. We also have AQD armoured windows, which is how we've got our gloriously nice and shiny canopy at the front. That's the AQD mod. What you won't see here is we are also running battle cannons and turrets, AQD concrete, and force field hangar doors, and AQD conveyors expanded. So we've got a relatively light mod list. So, right, how are we doing resource-wise? Let's have a quick look at what we've got. More importantly, how much has the refinery chewed its way through? Excellent. Yeah, the refinery's doing okay. Yep, that's the aim, is we're just going to get a very basic cargo rover and hopefully a basic drill vehicle up and running so that you don't have to do this by hand. Because, yeah, as Razul says in my chat, we are aiming for the basics, and yeah, we could just slap down a refinery, but Karsa has a nice little base over on the ice lake over there that we stole from the NPCs, so we're sort of working out of that. Yeah, we stole that on Friday. So, right, I think one more load each, and then we'll go and grab some cobalt, and then we'll go and do some building. Yep. Trying to do this so that I don't leave lots of little voxels floating in the bottom of the hole, because this is an Xbox server and it gets a little bit picky sometimes about floating objects. Right, there we go, that's a full inventory of iron. Ah, Assumed, thank you very much for the follow, much appreciated. But yeah, we will be getting into, you know, pistons and drills as soon as it's sensible, but we're taking it easy. This is Karsa's first experience of survival space engineers, so yeah. So I'm deliberately keeping it slow, keeping it simple, not rushing. We've got all the time we need for this stream. There is no rush. Yeah, that's it, Razul. As long as we're having fun, we're doing it right. That is exactly the attitude we're after around here. That is exactly what we're up to. Oh, yes. Excellent. As long as you're far enough away, the voxels will slowly regenerate anyway. That's alright, you can use the medium cargo containers behind us, because that'll be the quick way. Still not allowing you. Yeah, it's definitely unshared. That's very strange. And we've got plenty of room in our cargo containers. That's even stranger then. Oh. Yeah, no, result. That is a valid way of playing Space Engineers. Lots of little outposts with vehicles around them. That is definitely a valid way of doing it. I don't think we've quite decided what Karsa's way of playing Space Engineers is going to be, so we're starting with the most open-ended option, and we'll see how it goes. That is a good question, Razul. I don't think so, because she's using the connector. So I don't think Karsa's accidentally using the terminal instead of the cargo access, because I don't think there is a terminal. Oh, right, where are you? Are you still outside? Okay, let me wander outside. Yeah, so all you should be doing, if what Razul said is right, is just look at that cargo access and do Alt right click. Yeah, so just look at the connector from the outside, don't be in the menu, and then do Alt right click. Nope. Did it do a thing? Because I have the problem, I'm on console, so I do not know the PC controls. Right, okay. Yeah, I can't even force it into PC mode like I can with the G menu. But yeah, as long as you're going into the inventory rather than going into the terminal, it should be working. I mean, if it's letting you do it manually... Yep. Yeah, basic refinery will work on it. That'll be fine. Anyway, if you get your inventory emptied, we'll hop over to the Cobalt. Which is a little slow. Yeah. Really, really slow. Yep, assumed. We have had exactly that. Yeah, apparently it's Alt right click dumps everything that isn't at all. Yeah, that's exactly the one we're after, Razul. And yeah, assumed I am at least on a Series X, so I don't have quite as many issues as the first-gen Xbox consoles do. I was on a first-gen Xbox, and yeah, anything over about 90,000 PCU, you've basically crashed out. Well, the problem is we need to go and do a bit more mining, so we might need your inventory. I tell you what, come inside the ship and try and use one of the medium cargo containers that's inside. Let's see if it's something weird going on with the connector. Yeah, so it's these yellow and grey ones right either side of you at the moment. Yep. I mean, you can just manually put it in there if you want. Yeah, Razul, we have a slight technical issue on my end. Karsa is streaming on PC, I'm streaming on Xbox, and Twitch has decided at my end not to broadcast Karsa's chat, so we can't hear her. Yes, there is a multi-stream. Let me go and grab the link again, just to get that back out there. Of course, Karsa. Yeah, Karsa will be a bit faster because obviously I'm having to do everything. Either, yeah, hooray for tech. So there is there's the multi-twitch. If you want to hear both sides of this particular chaos. Of course we are. Oh, and if you haven't noticed, chat, from the correct position of the driver's seat, I'm a Brit, whilst Karsa is not. Anyway. Right, so the last bit of resource we need to get your first vehicle up and running is a little bit of cobalt. So, as there is some cobalt over there, just quickly making sure... You have got a lot of gold around here. That will be useful later. Yeah, that's your original poke hole from Friday. More magnesium, more iron, more silicon. Yeah, you've got quite lucky with your resources over here. You've got a nice variety really close. Yeah, considering we just literally stole this base. Right then, so I see cobalt below us, that's what we're after. It looks like we may be getting some silver at the same time. Which isn't bad, because that's medical components, so that means you can build a respawn point. But cobalt is what we're after first. Time for diggy diggy hole. I'm aiming for the cobalt. We may be able to get them both from one tunnel if we're lucky. Yeah, all we've got to remember is it is possible in Space Engineers for your engineer to run fast enough into another engineer for you both to die. As long as you're both using your jetpack, you can velocity kill each other. No pressure! Right. Aiming for the cobalt. Almost there. We don't need much silver, but we definitely need cobalt. Oh. I was about to say, it's raining rocks down here. Glad those don't hurt. Yeah, Razul, we do have some mods that use the silver. Azimuth has got some stuff in it that uses a lot more silver. So yeah, we will find that. We will find that useful, don't worry. Gold especially takes a really big hit in this particular set of mods. Ah, yeah, assumed. I've got a similar mobile refinery rig that I fly around with for the planet. It's basically a modern-day oil drilling platform with atmospheric thrusters instead of being static. Right.
Inventory full.
You okay up there, Karsa? Okay. I've got to the cobalt. Now, where did we leave? Where did we leave the hole out? Ah, there it is. So, chat, poll on who's going to get lost first? Yeah, Razul, we don't have energy weapon mods, and we can't actually have shield mods on Xbox. We can only on Xbox we can only have mods. Hello, that don't use client-side scripting. So any server-side scripts, we're fine with. But as soon as it executes client-side script, so basically every shield mod for this game, Microsoft says no. Technically, we shouldn't be able to use mods with server-side scripts because Microsoft says no to executing scripts. But Keen found a workaround, which is basically, oh yeah, don't worry Microsoft, we're not executing a script on your Xbox, we're executing it on our server instead. So that's how we got around it and actually have some fun mods like modular encounters. But yeah, so though we will be getting our first vanilla energy weapon soon, because Warfare 1 or Warfare 2, sorry, is due out hopefully by the end of the year, and that's giving us our first railgun. So that will be interesting. And they've also, for those of you that are a little bit more familiar with Space Engineers mods, will be familiar with the Weapon Core mod that just completely overhauls and improves combat in the game. We can't have that because it's all client-side, but bits of it are being integrated into the core game, so we don't need it, hopefully. Yep. Oh yeah, I would be amazed if we make it through your first build before one of us velocity kills the other. And considering that I have the habit of flying around the most, it's probably going to be my fault. I mean, you are on the other side of the Atlantic to the server, you're doing alright. Yeah, you're still doing better than one of the guys that is in England that plays on this server, ping-wise. Right, where did that silver go? There it is. 24 metres above us. Let's go and grab some of that silver. Because, as I said, we don't need much silver, but we do need a little bit. Just so we can get things like a survival kit on your first little cargo rover. Silver? We're only 6 metres away. How small is this silver vein? Or am I drilling through the silver vein? No, that's definitely stone. Ah, there's the silver. They're very insistent about your inventory being full, aren't they? Hey, raiders! Hi! How you doing okay so far? Yeah, Razul, the on Xbox, the ore indicator should be the closest point, but it's usually the centre. Yeah, I'm aware of Starcore, Razul. I wish we could play. Unfortunately, Xbox. I believe you just went into the silver mine. Come towards the light, Karsa. Come towards the light. Assumed this is a private password protected server. I don't actually own this server, but the community that does, it's co-owned by 10 people, and they were good enough to let me use the spare slot that we had for this particular series. So yeah, the server is very much wide. Are you alright down there, Karsa? Yeah, I mean, I would have been surprised if they'd said no, because the people that own this server, I am IRL friends with all of them. So, words would have been had at the pub, but no, they were good enough to say, yep, we're not using our 10th slot on the server. You know, the person who was going to use it has stopped playing Space Engineers. Crack on, you can use it. So... yeah, I've heard it called that. I've heard it called Inventory Management Simulator. That's another common one for it. Oh, hey Orion! Welcome, welcome.
Inventory full.
So Orion, we do have a Karsa. I will, for your benefit, Orion, repost the multi-twitch, because we are co-oping it tonight. Oh, that's the... We'll just keep seeing how this goes. Yep. But for tonight, we've got, looking at the clock, we've got about another 2 hours, I think, from what we were agreeing. So... Well, that would have hit 10 o'clock over here, and I do actually have to, you know, get up for work tomorrow morning, so... And whilst it's not as early as some people, it's early enough. I am not a morning person, so anything before 9 o'clock I call early. Karsa, you appear to be leaving a large pile of ore down the bottom of your mining hole. I've just grabbed a load for you, just to... just to help. Yes, Orion, sleep. That thing that both me and you are in a habit of not having when we should. That's what sleep is. Oh, and I need to top up both my energy, and I think I've run out of hydrogen in one of my bottles. Well, unfortunately, I can't have things like hydrates on my stream yet. It's fine, I am manually giving myself hydrates. It's all fine. Speaking of lack of sleep, Orion, are you ready for Saturday? You know what, Orion? Fair play to you. Fair play on manually doing a redeem hydrate in my chat. There you go, hydrate has been had. Oh dear. Right. Back down the hole, although I think we're probably getting to the point where we've got enough cobalt. So... Oh, okay. I'll grab the bits that are left on the floor down here, and then we'll head back to your base. Ah. Hello, Karsa's husband. Because he secretly wants to come and play Space Engineers as well. Fair enough. Fair enough. Oh dear. Oh, Razul, yeah, if you do redeem enough hydrates, it does automatically become redeem drown. Yeah, I'll give you that one as well. Yeah, I mean, I have to be careful because when I'm streaming, I've got a 1.5 litre bottle of drink next to me from the start of the stream, so I could technically drown myself, yes. And okay, no worries, I will keep talking, seeing as they can hear me. But yeah, Orion, I'm all ready for Saturday as well. That's you got no sound. That's odd. I mean, I know there's a sound glitch on my end because we had the same problem with Karsa that I had with you, Tom. Yeah. Ah, there you go. Thanks, Razul. I didn't know you had to unmute multi-twitch manually. That's worth knowing. Where did... Oh, good. Karsa is actually inside. Just making sure she wasn't going to accidentally suffocate. How are we doing on resources? Let's see what we've got. So... Not much... Oh, whoa. Okay, I do believe that Karsa has been doing something weird when it comes to dropping materials. That's a new one on me. I've never seen it do that before. Let's just tidy up my basic refinery a little bit. Wow. That ended up in a mess. Have we finally got everything compacted down? Yes, we have. There we go. Yeah. Look, if it makes you feel better, Azul, I've got Izzy's running on my base. I will have Izzy's running on here. I just haven't quite got round to it. In fact, let's see if we can do that now. Do I have the bits available now? Oh, excuse me, Karsa. Thank you. Do I have the bits available to me to get a programmable block up and running? No, I don't want a Gatling turret. Thank you kindly. Programmable block. I need to find somewhere to park. I think it may well be the small grid mega mod is having some issues. Because I am pretty sure. Oh, I know why. It's trying to do it into the survival kit. That's what it will be doing. I bet if I check, yeah, survival kit is full of stuff. So I don't think it's quite managed to understand what to do. Oh, welcome back, Karsa. Oh, okay. Something you need to deal with, or? No, that's fine. If you life happens. If you need to do, you need to do. So. Yeah, no, whenever you need to, just let me know and we will stop the stream. Right, we are now going to head back to your base. We will unload all of our loot and we will start building, hopefully. Next question, where did I leave Karsa's base? Should be... I do, I'm just trying to work out where it's gone. Because, my screen is a mess. So... I know we're back towards the ice, I know that much. Ah, there we are. Found you! No, it's the little green one. 1.4 kilometers away. Yep, because for you it's your home base, for me it's Allied. That's fine, that's fine. So we'll just pull it into park. And the trick here is going to be lining up with the connector, not the thruster, so I don't accidentally melt things that we're not meant to. And me being, you know, the ever practical person that I am, I forgot to mount a camera for the side connector. And there we go, we are connected up. Well, Razul, it's funny you mention that, but we kind of stole this base off of the NPCs. We stole it fair and square. Right, so the easiest way of doing it is if you go into the inventory and you can sort both sides of your inventory, the left-hand panel and the right-hand panel. So what I would suggest you do is set one to this ship and then tick hide empty. So I'm doing that on the left-hand side. Nope, no, you don't need to do any of that. You're literally in the inventory panel itself. At the top, you've got different filter buttons that you can push. So you've got the little helmet that's your inventory, or the inventory you're looking in, and then you've got a whole bunch of other ones. The one that looks like a little rocket ship with 2 arrows on it, the middle of the 5, that is only show inventories on the grid that I'm connected to. So in this case, my little runabout. If you then tick hide empty, it will get rid of all of the empty inventory, so you're just looking at the full stuff. Rather than seeing lots of empty containers and things like that. Okay. That's very strange. Got it? Cool. Now on the other one, what you want to do is filter it to just the first level, the tick box. And then in your search, type in cargo. And now what you're seeing is everything connected to you that has cargo in it. And if you scroll down, you'll see that you've got a couple that are in orange rather than in white for the names. They're right at the bottom for me. Got it? Yeah, so if you scroll right down, if you filtered it to cargo, you should only see the cargo on that side. Well, if you literally type at the top cargo, so one side should show stuff and the other should show cargo. One is the ship, one is just cargo containers. Got it? Cool. So the orange small cargo containers are the one on your base. So all you now do is move materials from one side to the other. There you go. Like that. I'd like to keep my azimuth Gatling turret ammo, please. No, you haven't, but it's just the next one down. So everything from the refineries can go. There we go. See, this is the advantage of you being able to see Karsa's stream. I can't. And yes, Razul and Assumed, we have definitely got the progression tree turned off. That thing is horrible and really doesn't work when you're playing with some of the mods. Oh, you'll be surprised how quickly we'll go through that. Really. That's interesting. It's deliberately splitting your ice up for some reason. That's very strange. Right, leave a little bit in the O2 generators, because we might need that. They'll auto-fill themselves up anyway, so just leave them doing their thing. Right, okay. Okay. Ah, I know, the small container 24 that's full of iron, that is iron that I brought from my base as emergency repair parts. That's actually not in the cargo system. That container is completely separate from the grid, so it doesn't ever get emptied by accident. It does. But that is everything emptied now. Yep. Yeah, it's going to be automatically trying to refill stuff. So we need to disconnect once we've got most of it emptied. It's all good. It's because I've got an assembler and a refinery on here. So it's trying to be helpful and help your base refine material. So I'll just park. Right. How potentially soon might you have to call it early? Because that will depend on how far into this building we can get. Okay, so it's an unknown. Excellent. Well, we'll show you how to get started with survival building, and that way we can just sort of pause it whenever. That sounds like someone that's running hydrogen engines to power their base. We're lucky we've got some solar. Yep. That's hydrogen thrusters. That's hydrogen thrusters. Right. Now. Yeah, it has been appreciated. Okay, there are two ways we can start building your vehicle. We have the easy, but you'll have to charge it up later method, or we have the slightly more complicated, but it will charge off of your base immediately. Which would you like to try? The real question here is, do you want to play with rotors now? Okay, so a bit more practice with your build planner. So if you go into your G menu and find a rotor, and we are going to stick a rotor to the outside of your base. Just a standard rotor. Yep, just a standard rotor. You will need a steel plate to place it, so you will need to get one of those out of your inventory. Right, so you need a steel plate first. Got my order of operation wrong here, so you need to go into your cargo of your base and find a single steel plate. I think it's... He says very quickly finding a rotor to make sure that, yes, it is a steel plate to place one. You will do, but I don't think it will let you place it unless you for some reason are holding a steel plate in your inventory. Yep, so let's pick one of your tools and then go to your cargo. And then find a steel plate. Excellent. So, because the first item in the list of components for a rotor is a steel plate, that's what you need to actually place one into the world. So, I would stick it on the orange stripe on the back of your base, right on the corner. So this flat panel right on the end. That should give us enough height. So find your rotor. Yeah, there's not enough room in there. Yep, just stick it right on the end. There we go. Now, we want to weld up the base of this. So, just the same as you did when you were repairing your turret, you can use the build planner to queue up the parts for the base of your rotor. But we don't want the rotor head, so I've removed that for now, because we're going to do something a little bit different with that. I just removed it with a grinder. I literally just chopped it off. So, do you remember how you added the build planner stuff earlier with your welder? Well, give it a try then. I believe it was control and right click. Cool, so now you need to go and add that to your production. Yeah, weld up what you can. So now go and, in your production menu, order up the rest of the parts. Yeah, you need to go to your cargo connector, remember? You do indeed. It's the button in the middle, add build planner to production. So if you go to if you look in the middle of your inventory tab, you've got those two buttons right in the middle, or the multiple buttons in the middle. You want the one with the cog and the box that says add components from build planner to production queue. No, you want to add to production is what you're after. Cool. Ah, easily done. There are many menus. That's the other thing I've heard space engineers called, menu simulator. Yep, so you didn't have any of those, so you need to go and order up some from your assembler. So if you go back to your same inventory panel, and then down near the bottom you'll have an add components from build planner. Bless you. Or bless your husband if that was who it was. So if you now check your production tab, it should be building large steel tubes. It is. There you go. You've ordered a couple by the looks of it. But that's fine. Spare parts are always good. Okay, so now withdraw components and hopefully you should get a large steel tube. Woohoo! Yep, it does help. And there's Razul dropping all of the hints. Thank you. That is clearly someone who has also played a lot of SE. Yeah, so because you need a steel tube, steel would find it. And you need to make sure the other half of your inventory panel is set to your personal inventory. Yep. And you see, I'm being sneaky now. I may have your stream up and running on my phone. Excellent. Right, so you now have the bottom of a rotor. which on its own isn't that useful. However, if we just pop round the corner here to the handy little control panel that we've got. So if you use the little blue panel on the far right to go into the terminal, and you should now have, yep, so if you search for the rotor in that list, so if you search at the top, you should find a rotor. And select that. Now there's two controls that I want you to click on that rotor. The first one is rotor lock. So you scroll down the middle panel. There's a little tick box just below attach. Yep, you should have a little tick box that says rotor lock. Down a bit. So there's a little tick box below attached that says rotor lock. You've just scrolled past it. Just above the sliders. There you are. So tick that, and then click add small head. Cool. Right, now let's go and look at your rotor. And you will see... Yep, we're both in need of that, so you should now see you have a teeny tiny little steering wheel of a rotor part right in the middle of it. So that's the next thing we need to weld up, but you are correct, we both need energy. So now, is the survival kit going to decide to prank Karsa again? Because Karsa has a history with the survival kit of it not working. Right. Yep, that's fine. Yep, I will agree with Karsa on something that we both have found. It's much more fun streaming when chat wants to talk to you. Definitely more fun. Right. Oh, absolutely. Lurkers keep the stream going. Yep, so now you need to weld up the rotor part. Yep. Yep, so guess what you need to get out of your cargo system? Yep, I mean, we could actually get away with not bothering, but it's a couple more hit points just in case something goes wrong. And while you're there, I would suggest you grab some more steel plate if you haven't got any in your inventory. Because we're now at the point where we can actually start building your first vehicle. And of course we're not wrong, Magica. It's us. You may have to build some. You need 6. Okay, now if you want to build it manually, if you go to your production tab and find the assembler on the left, and if you search for steel or tube or something of that nature, there you go. Ahead of me even explaining it. Razul, I have no idea what you mean about, you know, giving it more hit points in case someone bumps it with something. I absolutely don't know what you mean. Well, what you couldn't see there, Karsa, was me frantically nodding my character's head on stream. Right, so we now have a complete rotor with rotor part. Now, what we've done here, it is done, it's tiny. Because what we've done is we've used this rotor to break one of the air quote rules of Space Engineers. Because you remember I said on Friday you can't have small and large grid on the same grid. Well, this means we sort of can. Because we've now got a small grid rotor part on a large grid rotor base. Which means to build your first vehicle, which is going to be small grid, we can just hang it off the side of here by a couple of blocks, and it will steal battery power from the base while we're building it. So this is quite a good way of building a vehicle if you've already got a base. So I would suggest... yeah. So what I would suggest is find your light armoured block, and just find the cube version of it. Yes, you are very correct there, Razul. Large steel tubes are absolutely huge and will eat most of your inventory space. Right, so you need some steel plate, but you can get rid of anything else building material wise that's in your inventory. Just put that in the connector for now. Because yeah, as Razul says, the steel tubes are absolutely huge. So oh, Razul, we're playing with wheels first. We are playing with wheels first. We may do thruster assisted wheels later, but we're going to play with wheels first. Yep, so we're going to keep it simple first. Okay, so the first thing you're looking for in your G menu, because we're now building, so G menu is your friend. You are looking for, and it should be right at the top, the light armor block, the one that looks like a cube with a little plus next to it. So drag that down onto your hotbar. You may have, I'm not sure what's on your hotbar. Okay, cool. So hit that one and you should now see a big cube floating in front of you. At the moment that will be probably a large cube. So if you walk up to the rotor part and try and put that on the little rotor part, it should turn it into a small cube. So you need to get... there you go. So place one on there. And just place like 5 or 6 straight out, so we've got a bit of an arm to build off of. Just keep coming straight away from your base, so you've got a little stick coming out of your rotor. That's a brave comment, Razul. I note you put that in my chat. I did, yeah. Oh no. I think Razul was suggesting that you go and have a look at Splitsy's videos. Yep. He does a very good set of basic tutorials for space engineers. Okay, I need to work on my explanation, because I was envisioning that our stick comes this way to give us a bit of clearance away from the base. Fortunately, this is Space Engineers. You can just chop those off with a grinder and put them back on again, and you don't lose anything. You may have to fly, though. There you go, so that one's fine, and just, you know... yes. Yeah, result. Splitsy is the reason that I started playing this game, so I will always recommend him. And I will actually, if you want some good entertainment, he has started a new series on Sunday nights called Wrong Way Up. It is hilarious. If you want to see... Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Because reasons, yep. Okay, time to start building your first vehicle. So, I think we'll start with just a simple little cargo vehicle for now. And then we will work out sticking drills on it later. So, one thing we do want to work out is how we're going to connect it to your base. So, as this is the only connector for your base, we need to be able to get your wheeled vehicle to that connector. So we're going to have some pretty chunky wheels on this, I think. We may even go full 5x5. And yes, Razul, it started on Sunday, the new season, and it is hilarious. So, the first thing we're going to want on the back of this thing, though, is a connector. So that you can actually connect it. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to grab some steel plate so that I can show you, because some of this may get complicated. And it may be just easier if I show you what I'm thinking rather than trying to explain it all. There we go. Have you found your connector? Excellent. So, small grid connector. The big magnetic ring obviously needs to go pointing backwards. So, if we have backwards as towards your base, so you're going to have to put it on the side of the stick. Ooh, yep, that'll do. Now, you'll notice it's gone red because there's no snap point there. So what you will need to do is move it to the side or the top of that little stick we made. I'll let you choose which. And yeah, Razul, we can just make the connector a different height if we have to. So, if we weld that one up first, let's with small grid, weld as you go. Because it's very easy to accidentally hide a block that you then need to weld up later. Also gives you a bit more practice with Build Planner. Quite a bit. So what it might be worth building or doing as we're about to start building a vehicle is in your production queue up, I don't know, 300 of everything. And I don't mean absolutely everything, but 300 steel plate, 300 motors, what else is common? 300 construction components. Yep. So you want, well, it doesn't need to be small because we're queuing up parts rather than anything particular. So you're going to want small steel tubes, queue up a couple of hundred of those. There should be, I don't know what the hotkey is though, so Razul may do us a favour here and tell us what it is to queue up multiples. There we go. Yeah, because I know there's way of doing 10, 100 and 1,000 at a time. I'm just going to quickly go and not die for a second, because I'm running out of energy. Well, mine's red because I've silly left my headlights on the whole time. So, that's what I've done. I've now turned them off. Yeah, I don't know what you've done to upset survival kits in Space Engineers. Medical bays like you fine, but for some reason survival kits don't. So it'll be one is 10, one is 100, and both together will be 1,000. There we go. See, I can help you with how the game works. I can't help you with PC controls. Yep. So the other ones you're going to definitely want are construction components. You definitely need some of those. You'll definitely need some computers. I see we're really going for it. We're going with 1,000 of each. Excellent. We may not have the resources for that, but there's one way to find out. It's fine. It's probably just hasn't got to refining the silicon yet. So, what else are we going to need? We're going to need some interior plate. We will need some power cells, because interior plate and then power cells. They look like sort of a little lunchbox. Yep. There we go. Yep, that's looking good. And if you queue up, we go for about 30 metal grids just in case. We may not... 30, yeah. We may not need that many, but just in case. Metal grid. That's what we needed the cobalt for. Excellent. Yeah, Razul, that metal grid order is me hedging my bets, okay? That's what that is. That's me hedging my bets. Just in case we do decide to stick some thrusters on this thing. Yep, I think you're good for a minute. The only thing we could do with is some small steel tubes and a couple of large steel tubes. Okay, we've got 35 large steel tubes in the connector. That should be fine. Yeah, we should be... Oh yeah, you've definitely got enough small steel tubes. You've got 906 of them. Plus another 136 that we'd already got from somewhere. So now we're good. Now we can start properly building. So, first things first, weld up the connector. Yep. So that connector that we started, the one we placed, you need to add that to your build planner. Right, Razul, Izzy's is running on my base, okay? I am aware of it. I am very aware of it. The auto-crafting side of it doesn't work on Xbox servers, though. So whilst we can get the actual, inventory organising script up and running, we can't get the auto-crafter up and running, ever. So, I'll teach Karsa how to use Izzy's next time. Right, so basically how to use the scripting system. Not how to write your own script, but how to download and implement somebody else's script. Hey, I'm not going to argue, Razul. The Izzy's scripts are fantastic. Between the solar alignment and the inventory manager, Izzy's scripts are awesome. We have a connector! Yay! Right, job done, stream over, we can go home now. Anyway, right. Okay. So, we now have a way of getting stuff in and out of our little rover we're going to build. I would suggest we now put some cargo on it. So this is now where you need to start making some design decisions. Because this is going to be your rover, I'm just going to help you build it. So, let me temporarily pop myself in creative so that I can show you the options you've got. Now, before anyone jumps on me about mods, I am going to stick to vanilla for this first build. Let's not do a marathon before we've learned to crawl at this point. So, your option. Yep. So your options for cargo are medium cargo containers or large cargo containers. Those are your two options. So this is about how big you want your vehicle to be. Now, obviously, the large cargo container, if you have a look in it, you can see its capacity. It'll be the literage. So you can compare and see just how much bigger that large container is. Stupid thing. Right, now that it's shared, for some... space engineers, you do silly things sometimes. So it's how much cargo you want to put on your rover. So it's up to you how big you want your rover to end up. Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, I've got a 7 and a bit thousand ton vehicle back over at my base. Yep, that's perfectly fine. This is why I was showing you the options. Okay. Cool. So, what you need to find in your G menu then is medium cargo containers. But, before you do, you will need to get interior plate into your inventory, because cargo containers use interior plate, not steel plate. There's a reason that I just attached it to the side of your base. The other reason that we attached it to the side of your base is this way it's got power, which means if for some reason we either have to stop early or suddenly or go and get more materials, it's powered so it won't get deleted by the trash cleanup tools. So this way we make sure we don't lose our progress because it's physically attached to a building that has got a nuclear reactor and solar panels on the roof. Medium. And you want to make sure that the cargo access on the end of it, the big cargo access, joins up with the big cargo access on your connector. While you're doing that, I'm going to quickly recharge my battery. In fact, come here, seat. I am absolutely not sticking a seat to the roof of my vehicle. There we go. Right, we now are going to have a danger seat on the roof of this vehicle. So called because it's really dangerous to be on it. Right. Of course, I'm in creative mode. Right. I'll just ditch those parts later. Anyway, we now have a way of recharging on the outside. It's called the chair on the roof. Yep. So, I'm now looking at your stream. So you see you've got the large cargo ports on the end that look a bit like the back of that connector does. You want to stick those together. So you want to stick the one on the medium cargo container to the one on the connector. So if you point it at the connector and then rotate it. There you go. And right, so you'll notice that on your medium container you've got small ports on two sides and not the other two. So what I would suggest is, if you're going to have a couple of medium containers, have them so that those little small ports are pointing in different directions, just in case. Switch! Yep, I have literally stuck a seat to the roof. Right, the reason we are constantly low on energy is we are on a freezing cold planet. So our suit is constantly trying to keep us alive. Cool. So, guess what? Now you've got to weld it up. Yeah, Razul, there's a lot of the stuff you've just said that is more or less what I'm after on this one. Yep. Woohoo! The easiest way of learning building in Space Engineers is just repetition. You don't have to use Build Planner, but you can. Build Planner is quicker usually. So what you need to do, the easy way of doing it is add the medium cargo container to your Build Planner and then just withdraw the parts you need. You get your welder and you click the medium cargo container. Hi, Thylum. The Mark 1 is holding up surprisingly well. This is a new co-op series we're running, so design of the Mark 2 has been put temporarily on hold while we get this up and running. So, randomly at some point, that Mark 1 will transform into a Mark 2. And as I haven't posted it in a while, let's repost the Maltese Twitch, because we are co-op with Karsa tonight. And I have noticed the number tick down and then back up again, so I'm guessing a few people have joined us recently. So if you want to see both perspectives, there is the multi-Twitch. You will also actually be able to hear Karsa on that one, because Xbox Live decided that it wasn't going to play ball on my end tonight, so whilst I can hear Karsa, you guys can't hear her. So... And I can read both chats because I'm now cheating and have two devices running. Yeah, oh, that looks like we have a medium cargo container. We are getting there, yeah. So now we just need to add a couple more. Yep, just string them along, and it's entirely up to you how many. Once we know how many cargo containers... Yep, this will be the back. The connector will be on the back, normally anyway. It's easier for your first vehicle if the connector's on the back. And we'll try and keep it symmetrical. So you will want them connected by the big connector, so you'll want them just coming in a straight line. What we're building, Thylum, is Karsa's first cargo lorry. Or truck, if you're American. You don't have to do one at a time. If you're just doing a line of these, you can put, you know, as many as you want in a straight line. It's only when you start getting complicated that you have to make sure you're not placing blocks and then hiding them. So, yeah, you can decide how many cargo containers you'd like. This will be down the centre of your vehicle, because we want to keep the mass nice and central. Yep, so that will give you 40,000 litres of cargo. Roughly double what we just brought back on the runabout. Yep. Okie doke. Cool. So we can get those welded up. Right, so asymmetric mass doesn't always affect performance, but it will definitely affect its off-road capability. And as we are going off into the hills over there, yeah, we want to try and keep the mass centralised just for ease of driving. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop around the corner here out of Karsa's line of sight for a second. Whilst Karsa is welding up those blocks. And what I'm going to do is quickly throw together roughly what I'm thinking for this build whilst Karsa is welding up some blocks. Yeah, it's the constant battle of building up components and then adding more to the production queue and repeat. Which one? Yep, construction components. Yes. How is your production? Ah, right. Your production is hung up by the fact that you appear to have run out of things. Let me see. Ah, so your refinery is currently chewing its way through cobalt. That would be why you're running out of things. So let me just push the stone to the front of your refinery, because that'll give us a little bit of everything. And then get the iron going. We want cobalt last, thank you very much. Game, I know you're trying to be helpful. But it does look like we are gonna need more nickel, potentially. So it may well be another mining trip in a second. I think we are. Right, Karsa, would you like to temporarily speed up your mining problem? Cool. Give me a minute. I'll be right back. Feel free to keep going at designing your vehicle. The next thing you're going to want to stick on the end of those cargo containers is an O2H2 generator. Oh, we're not even going that complicated, Karsa. No, we are literally sticking a cockpit to the front of that thing. We are keeping this super basic. We are basically sticking the wheels to the outside of those cargo containers. Yeah, really. Razul, they Yep. Yeah, and just to answer a few that are... Yeah, definitely gyros. And just to answer a few that are popping up in my chat, Razul, they fixed the popping wheels. The popping wheels aren't an issue anymore. But yes, gyros are a definite must. That's a thing. Oh, the other thing that you can stick on it, Karsa, if you manage to get the O2H2 gen done before I get back, is a battery or two on top of the vehicle. So, for those that haven't been here before, stream, welcome to my current outpost in all of its horrible glory. This is how I collect resources. So, this is what I use for resource collection. Are you sneakily looking at the stream by any chance? So, yeah, this monstrosity of a flying oil rig, which has a piston-snaked drill head attached to it, that's what I normally use for harvesting resources. That isn't what I'm about to go and start terrorising Karsa's base with, though. We're going to grab something much more modest. And, in case you haven't met Brutus, I'm very familiar with multi-wheeled vehicles. Don't worry about that. Right, anyway. So let's grab the mini miner. So, right, the O2 generator, if you look at the back of it, has also got a large cargo port. If you look at the other side of it, so you want to attach that large port to the end of your stick of medium cargo containers. And ideally, you want the 2 small ports on the front of it to be left and right rather than up and down, because that's how we're going to attach the cockpit. Yep. Rather than up and down. As I said, I'll be over in just a second to assist. Right, what I'm debating, chat, is whether I bring one of my other ships over to give us a hand, and I think I'm going to. Let's bring Scuttler over. In case you're... Yeah, you might want to deal with that. Don't forget there's a seat on the roof of the runabout now. So for those that are familiar with the air traffic mod, I may have done some pirating. They were then heavily modified. Interesting, that's a problem. Right, and that, chat, is called forgetting that your connector isn't set up properly. Don't worry, I've just had what's called a normal day in Space Engineers. Right. Something may have exploded slightly. It's all fine. We're all fine here. How are you? Well, I'm actually mildly surprised that the thing is still flyable, but it's now less useful than it was. Because it's now in about 3 bits. So, plan B. The plan that I wasn't going to do. Let's just land that. Does it have... No, it hasn't even got landing gear left. Fantastic! This is called It's Going Well. We'll just land this one as well. And it looks like we are flying the massive oil rig over. Yep, that's the one. That is absolutely normal day in SE. Let's make sure I'm not about to compound this mess. No, good, right. Proof that even, 1500 hours of this game does not make you immune to stuff-going Space Engineers. Right. Oh, this is going to be a painful flight as well. There was a reason that I didn't want to fly this thing over here, because, well, it's an oil rig. It flies about as well as an oil rig. Or, apparently, Space Engineers has just decided it's not going to fly at all today. That's thoroughly helpful of it. No, that is... Space Engineers has got confused as to whether this is actually a grid or not. Which does happen, and unfortunately there's only one solution when the grid glitches like this. It's called cut and paste. Ooh, it just doesn't want to fly at all today. Why are you not wanting to fly a ship? Your dampeners are on. Your batteries are on. Yeah. So, cool. I am slightly confused as to why my giant mining platform has just suddenly decided, no, I don't fly anymore. This, as you can imagine, is a slight problem. Yeah, it's... And what's annoying is, I was literally flying that thing around earlier this evening. Okay, next thing we're going to do is... No, I don't turn the thrusters off on that one. Right, next thing we're going to do is you need to find a cockpit in your menu. Ooh, is that really the only one that I've got available? Eesh. Not ideal. Oh well, it'll have to do. So, for the benefit, again, of those that haven't been here before, I may have a 3D printer set up and running. We are definitely out of nickel. Okay. And we do kind of need this miner up and running then. Right. You be right back, and I will be right back with you. Let us grab some steel plates. Where does this one attach to the printing block? We just go for there and there, and we'll bring one forward to catch the drills at the front. There we go. Right. Yeah, no, that grid, something significantly more annoying has happened. I'm going to have to work out why it's decided not to work. Because the thrusters were thrusting, it just wasn't actually flying. So, cockpit is next. Yeah, well, you can get the cockpit placed and started at least. I hopefully will be over with you relatively quickly. Right, so the one you want, if you grab the one with the little plus on it, the first one, top left-hand corner. I am absolutely not watching your stream, of course. No, I know. Just means that I'm doing everything with like a 30-second delay. And as you can see, it's got two ports on the back that match up quite nicely with your O2 generator. Auto rotate, I believe. Is this just failing to print on me? Apparently not. How much are we missing? Oh, we're missing a lot. Right, so if you look at the bottom of it, it's got a large cargo hatch on the bottom. So you want the two little hatches facing backwards and the big hatch facing down. How much stuff are we missing? We're missing quite a bit of stuff on this. Yay! Yes, it is. Right. And it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to rush build something, so... Time for plan B. C, D, I've lost track, chat, I've lost track of which plan we're on here. Okay, that's interesting. Apparently nothing at my base is allowed to fly right now. Oh no. There we go. No, we have sort of flight. Just for the record, chat, this ship I'm currently flying is not actually meant for flight in atmosphere. It's just meant to take off from a planet. In fact, it's bad enough I'm actually going to get this on the deck again and just take the miner off of it. There we go. God, I'd forgotten how bad that was. Ugh. Excellent. We're actually getting there. So, right, batteries on the top of your cargo containers now. You want... Oh, yeah, you want the first one. The regular one. Just battery. I mean, I would say the azimuth one, but... They're expensive. Yep, 2 or 3? Yeah, stick them along the roof. So directly above flat, ideally. Okay, chat, we may have a solution to our problem. Where's my big miner gone? Because I think I know what may have happened. Based on what I've just discovered on the little miner. I do believe that one of my colleagues may have pranked me. Because I've just found out that all of my miner's thrusters are switched off. Well, they're switched back on now. I'm on my way. Knowing the guys on this server, most of them. Yeah. Razul, with the distance that I'm expecting that vehicle to travel, I'm not going to bother with a survival kit. Razul, they actually fixed that bug. It doesn't actually happen anymore where you accidentally park everything. That one they've actually got rid of, thankfully. Is that the auto-rotate? And yes, result, they have fixed it. Not only that, you can now set connectors to ignore the park button. Yeah. I mean, if you haven't welded it up, there's nothing wrong with moving them. I would call that a design choice. I tend to like not having my batteries anywhere near the ground. But that is a personal thing, because I also have a habit of driving my wheeled vehicles about 50 times faster than they should do. So, using them to spread your wheelbase out is not a problem. Fair enough. Fair enough. And Karsa... Yeah. Yeah. Well, the good thing is, because you haven't welded them up past that first frame, you're not going to lose anything by destroying them and putting them back on. The only thing you ever lose when you're grinding stuff down is power cells that you've put in a battery. So, we haven't put any in there, so you don't need to worry. Yeah, I was going to get to the suspension bit, Razul, don't worry. I just thought I'd solve our resource problem first. And Karsa, I'm afraid I may have changed the rule of bringing something the size of your base over. I've just flown overhead. Yeah, it's clearly the problem. Right, let's just get a really big chunk of stone. That's going to be the easy way of doing it. Yep, go for it. This is your vehicle after all. I'm just trying to help you with the game bit. Yeah, you can do that. There's my ground lights. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, it just means we're going to need to make sure that when we build the probably 6 wheels on that thing, we spread them out a bit. There we go. Yeah, 4 is fine. Okay, let's see. And I'm just dealing with the resource problem. Yep. Well, it's up to you. I mean, the closer to the corners you are, I would actually suggest putting 6 wheels on that thing. So, 2 right at the back, 2 right at the front, and 2 in the middle. In terms of wheels, how we spread those out, that's up to you. I forget how slow these pistons are. I know they have to be slow, but it just feels like they're not moving. There we go. I mean, personally, I consider 6 wheels a good start for number of wheels, but probably gone. Fortunately, the vehicle I've brought over has also got a whole bunch of my resources still refining in it, so we've got a sudden injection of iron and cobalt from that, and soon we're going to have some more materials of our own. I said, do you want to come and have a look at the monstrosity I brought over to you? I'm just... If you head vaguely towards your ice mine, I'm over that way. And apparently I've just found a random bit of my vehicle that fell off. Do-do-do-do-do. Didn't happen. There we go. Yeah, it's about right. Well, it's only got a little drill in the middle of it. It's locked on at the front. This front corner I'm standing next to with the green landing gear pads on it is maglock to the floor, and that is holding the entire vehicle up. No, you can quite happily go underneath it. It's fine. Look. It's fine. But yeah, it's cutting quite a nice hole at the moment. And if we... Oop. Oh no, it's not stationed. It's just maglocked to the floor. This thing flies. But as we've already collected 781,000 kilograms of stone, I think we're good for now. Well, stone breaks down into nickel, iron and silicon. So I'll start pulling the drill back up. Yeah, so this level of resource collector is what you will eventually be aiming for. Just quickly, am I still in creative? Yes, I am. I'll quickly bring in the blueprint of what I tried to fly over here to start with and spectacularly broke. And I'm now going to have to go and fix it. To be honest, I'll just end up grinding it down and reprinting it, because I've got a printer. So, I was going to bring over a much more modest one of those. Where have you... There you are. Yeah. I was just going to bring that over. You know, something a little bit closer to the scale that we're building at. I attached it to the top of one of my pirating ships that I normally use, and forgot that I hadn't set the top connector up to have a ship attached to it. It's normally for pirating. So when I hit the park button to take the landing gear off of the ship, it disconnected the miner, and the miner kind of broke. Yes, and then I had a perfectly normal day in SE, correct. Yeah, result, I'm not usually a fan of a mega build. This is about as big as my resource collecting vehicles get, and this is purely designed for situations like this where I just need all of the resources in a hurry. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I will fully admit that this flying oil rig is overkill. I will not dispute that this is overkill. I mean, it has a fully detailed interior cabin. Now, if I actually enter properly rather than just jumping in the cockpit, we have a kitchen, we have an armory, 2 beds, a cryopod, a little dinner table, a toilet, a shower, a survival kit. Oh yeah, this is a completely operational base if it needs to be. I'm also about to take off. Yeah, you don't want this one landing on you. At the minute, she's at 6.4 million kilograms. Now the question is, can I connect it to Karsa's base? I mean, the problem we've got is the hopper is in the way. Yeah, 6.4 kilotons is the easier one to say. I really don't know why Space Engineers doesn't do the abbreviation for you. Oh dear. You need to go and refill at a med bay or a survival kit. And I'm going to move the hopper out the way in a second. Right. So let's get this thing on the ground temporarily. I see no problem here. Right, excuse me, runabout, you need to move. I have mentioned the wonder of the H2 bottle, but I think the wonder of the H2 bottle may have been forgotten slightly and temporarily. Right, let's Thanks, Razul! Appreciated! Of course it's been fun. Sanity is overrated. Right, it really does bother me that it doesn't render the glass sometimes. Anyway. Okay, next challenge. Connecting this to that. Oh yeah, this thing is not meant to connect to something as small as your base's connector. It's not rendered useless, guys, don't worry. Right, let's take myself out of creative. Come on, assembly system, kick in, please. Because all I'm going to do is we'll temporarily switch over working to just working straight off of the mining rig. But while we're waiting for the production to kick in... Actually, we've got a vehicle. Let's use it. Come here, Hopper. You have connectors. You have cargo. So, how to unload... I can still hear you. I can still hear you. Things happened. Okay, fair enough. Yes, so as I was saying, I'm basically going to use the hopper, or the runabout, to ferry materials off of the mining rig. Medium, there we go. Apparently it doesn't want to let me. Well, that's annoying. Ah, that's because I keep finding the small cargo containers that aren't on the cargo system. There we go. So we just do that and then do that. This... it's fine. I will fully admit though, I am not reading chat whilst trying to fly a ship. Oh. Oh. Right. Wow, has my refinery just chewed through all of that stone already? Blimey. The refineries on the runabout are working overtime right now. But it does mean that you're getting some resources coming in. Yeah, hopper turns freighter. That's useful to know. Right, so I'm just going to keep, you know, cycling stone backwards and forwards for a minute. Yep. So apparently I did a reasonably good job of lining up the mining rig with the hopper. Right, on the basis that I have pretty much filled both of your refineries, I'm just going to leave the hopper plugged in so its refinery is also helping. Oh, I can't because that's going to steal your cargo connector. That's annoying. Okay, well we'll just park the hopper down here then. Oh, actually no. We will park the hopper where it can be of most use. Which is chewing its way through about 1,000 kilograms of... yeah. There's a lot of stone going. I have just moved a couple of 100,000 over to yours, so... you should now have some resources going. Yeah, I'd hope so. Yeah, you're now building all of your motors and everything else that you've got queued up. And now, should we need to, we can directly access the freight from the big mining rig from the ground as well. Karsa, we've only got about 15 minutes left. Yep, you're doing well. Oh, you've done well. You've done well. Right, Razul, just for your benefit, as you're new around and haven't seen how overly complicated some of my Space Engineers build gets, let me bring in an old friend. Time to introduce you guys to the Scuttler. Let's just go for the heavy one, I think. No, there we go. Let's go for the one that will literally make things cry. Hello, Scuttler. How are you? We'll just give this a moment while all the wheels load in. There they are. Right. This is the heavy Scuttler scrape mining system. I don't think Karsa's seen this one, actually, because I tend not to use it very often, because it's a little bit interesting to drive. And by a little bit interesting, I mean it's got somewhere in the region of about 30 wheels. Hey, Karsa. It's interesting is what it is. That is a large grid ore detector because it's got twice the range of the small grid one. That's the back where you are at the minute, where the connector is. The cockpit's stuck on the front. There's survival kits on this as well. Yeah, if you come around this side and jump on the back, there's a survival kit on the side. So yeah, Razul, I also have a habit of overcomplicating things, because this whole contraption is to carry these two piston drills that are suspended in the middle. Anyway, and just for the, in case anyone wants to see how stupid the suspension is, let me flip this thing upside down. Because it's always funny seeing the sheer amount of wheels on the bottom of this thing. You may need some more power cells. Yeah, there you go. That's how to put wheels on your car. Yeah, yes, Stylum, I will go with that. It's taking the piston. I appreciate that play on words perfectly. And I wouldn't say this is oversized, I would just say that this is unnecessarily complicated. I've flipped it upside down so they can see the wheels. I don't know if you want to come and look at the horrificness that is this suspension system. As I said, I literally flipped it upside down so you can fly above it and see the wheels. And the fact they're not actually straight pairs. Yeah, Razul at the minute, she's running on solar and a nuclear reactor for her base. Wind turbine tower will be on the to-do list after we've got resource sorted. The reactor's got plenty of uranium, and if it doesn't, my base does. So we are slightly cheating that bit of the early game in as much as let's just use some uranium. Yeah, it came with uranium, so we're not cheating it that much. Oh yeah, we won't be going for a full wind farm. I'm going to build something that is quite common on this server called a blender tower, which is a single column of armour blocks, and every 10 blocks up it you have a circle of 4 wind turbines. We'll just stick one level of that up just to make sure. Either that, or I might use a solar tower as Karsa's introduction to scripts. Well, to be honest, the tracking solar towers just look cool, because they will rotate the panels to match the tracking of the sun around the planet. Oh yeah, that's fine. It's only a turret. I mean, at the minute, you've got more firepower than you are ever going to need landed directly behind you. So, yay! Yep, and you'll notice that because this is attached to your base, you're actually recharging the batteries. Or at least I really hope you're generating enough power to recharge the batteries. Let's have a... Yeah, all of your batteries are saying recharging or recharged in, so you're all good. You're all good. Right, wheels. I'm gonna suggest the 5x5s. Just to give you a bit more ground clearance. And yes, Razul, I was planning on using Izzy's solar alignment script. Yep, you are not wrong. You are not wrong. Oh dear. Yeah, the 5x5s are the one I would suggest, just to give you that little bit of extra ground clearance. And we definitely need to put a gyroscope on top of this thing for the inevitable moment where it goes airborne. Oh, you will go airborne even if you are the most careful driver in Space Engineers. So what you're looking for in your G menu is wheel suspension. So you don't want the tyre on its own, you want the actual suspension. And you'll have left and right flavours of it. Yes, Razul, we will get to the basic setup of wheels, do not worry. Though, Razul, as you seem to have been around SE a while, and possibly a couple of the others are in chat, I tend to follow the wasted space method of wheels, as you may have guessed. Make of that what you will, chat. Yes, that is the wheel suspension. Alright, let me grab a wheel suspension out myself, because they do have an up and a down. So, are you on the 5x5 or the 3x3? Excellent. I'm just waiting for mine to render in, because apparently there's a lot around here at the moment. Okay, I'm now looking at your screen just to cheat. So, if you turn it so you can see the side of the suspension, there we go. So, yours is currently upside down. Well, result, she's got multi-stream. She can see both chats if she needs to. Yeah, that looks good. So that's the way up it needs to go on the vehicle. And you see the two sort of silver bars, that's where the wheel attaches. So the small bit attaches to the vehicle. Yeah, that'll happen. Yeah, so upside... Yeah, there we go. Oh, nearly. Rotate is one of those things. Right, except it is upside down. You need to rotate it. You need to rotate it 180 degrees. Right. Rotation in Space Engineers is a thing you're just going to get used to. You should have 4-axis rotate or 3-axis. Hey, that was it. That was it. Go back. Go back. That's it. That's the right way up. And after all that, I don't think you've got a steel plate in your inventory. After all that, you haven't got a steel plate to place it. So I would grab a couple of steel plates, like 10 or so. Let's get your wheels on this before we finish. We will get the wheels placed before we finish. I mean, we've still got people watching, so we can't be doing that badly. Oh dear. No, in all seriousness, chat, thank you for joining us for this first episode. You want it low on the vehicle. That, yep, the lower the better. Yeah, that'll do. Yep. Yeah, it'll do. I mean, I think we were going to stick them on the batteries, but it's fine there, it'll work. You don't have to. Where you put them is entirely up to you. It's fine. Oh dear. Hey, and we actually have wheels on it now. How are we doing spacing wise? Yeah, spacing looks pretty good. Spacing looks pretty good. Trust me, I work with engineers. They couldn't figure most of this stuff out. But yes, I did turn creative off. Cool, so I can actually be useful. There you go. That's what it's meant to do. That means that auto places the wheel for you as well. Karsa, recharge your battery, and then we might need to have a chat about some of your wheel placement. The back two on this side need to move back one block to be equal with the other side. It's fine. It's easily fixed. It's easily fixed. Literally stole it. Yeah, we brought one of my ground attack vehicles over here and blew the turrets off and then went in with rifles. Yep. Yeah, we needed to get Karsa a house. Well, we did technically go house shopping first. I did drive you around a couple of different NPC bases. I mean, you're not wrong. So, other side. It's the back two on this side. So, yep, they're one further. Yeah, if you fly up and look straight down from above, you can see. My first clue was the fact your front wheel pair is fine. It's the back two that are the problem. The hint was your spacing on one side is perfectly fine for steering. Your spacing on the other side, not so much. It was an entertaining set of attacks, Magica, I will give you that. The repeated death spam from one turret was appropriate. And yes, Razul, there was some similarities between how Karsa got her house and how Jack Sparrow got his boat. There we go. Right. No, that's alright. That's fine. Because all that hasn't done is place the wheel. So, what you do now is jump in the cockpit, find your suspension in the control panel. So you actually have to get in. Yeah, so empty your hand, get in the cockpit, go into the control panel, search for wheel, and then just keep going through until you find the one where you can add wheel. I believe it's 5x5 left 5. You'll see in the middle panel there's a button that says Add Wheel. You click that, it will add a wheel to that suspension. Yep, so so you need to find the one where that isn't greyed out. There you are. And you have a wheel. As a word of caution to everybody that's watching and to Karsa, you'll notice there's a share inertia tensor button on wheels. Never, ever, ever, ever press it. Because what that button does on wheels is it makes them explode. Yes. Yeah, I think Magica appreciated Friday night. Karsa, it's 5 past the hour. We have wheels on the bus. So, the other thing that I quickly stuck on the vehicle before we forget, if you jump onto the roof, I have put the gyroscope on the roof. Yes. So, what else it needs is we are going to put a little reactor on it so that we can charge it up on the move. So that's going to go in one of these plugs on the roof. Survival kit only matters if you want to actually respawn on it. You can just jump in the cockpit to refill everything because the cockpit's plumbed in. So that'll cover your basics. The other thing we're going to put on it is an ore detector and an antenna, so that you can go looking for materials with it, and also so you can find it. And hopefully, cool. And hopefully, because of the way we've set everything up, we'll be able to use the little conveyor tube on the front of the cockpit to attach drills to it later. That's sort of the plan I was using, is we're going to attach drills to the front of it once we've used it as a cargo vehicle. So, I think that's a good plan. Ooh, that's a difficult one. Is there anyone I know that's on? We are. Yeah, you need to go into your cryopod. I'm going to fly my monstrous mining rig back home. Yeah, try not to do that. So the only person I've got online is Spin, who's playing Gears of War 2. Yeah, he's always good for, you know, being bothered. Right, let me get the hopper parked back up on the correct thing, because I'm not going to make the mistake with the hopper that I made with the mining vehicle that I tried to bring over here, because I know that the connector it's currently attached to will drop it like a stone when I lift the mining rig up. Oh, Razul, thank you. Yeah, we will be back Wednesday. I don't know if you want to get your plugs in now, Karsa, for the rest of your week. Cool. And I'm glad you've had fun. No problem, Karsa. And in my chat, I am just dropping all of the links. So we have got my YouTube for the VOD archive. We have also got my Discord, and the most important one, the one I'm just dropping, is the links to Lady Artemis and Delverkin and Karsa's Discords. So come and join us over there, and we'll carry on the insanity on Discord. For my streaming schedule, I am nowhere near as busy as Karsa. So I will be back on Sunday, hopefully, with some of my in real life airsoft teammates playing a game called Generation Zero, which is a survival co-op shooter. Set in the 1980s in Sweden with a robot apocalypse. We did one offline test game of it, and it's good. It's different, but it's good. So we're hoping to kick that off on Sunday night, and then I'll be back again for more Space Engineers on Wednesday. I do not have a raid message right now. I am not that organised. Because Christmas has occupied November. I also agree that's wrong. Right, and for those that are still watching my stream, I'm going to clear up some of these NPC bases between now and next stream, because there's just more of them spawning every time, and it's starting to actually affect the server. I'm monitoring it again on a completely different device. Thylum's Sunday game is called Generation Zero. But yeah, so you may see less red next time. We also, and I haven't warned Karsa of this properly yet, over the weekend we are adding a extra NPC mod to the server, which will be adding some crashed spaceship encounters, along with some mining camps and a few other things. So we may find some interesting stuff. Yeah, and the other mod that is definitely coming back onto the server over the weekend is we will be getting air traffic back on the server. So we will have ships flying over us that, if we get short on parts, we can just go and shoot them out the sky. It's been a good stream. It has been a good stream. We are indeed. I'm failing at landing a mining rig right now. I thought I'd give chat the entertainment of watching me try and land this mining platform. Hey, we did it! First time. That doesn't normally happen. Right. Okay, oh, this is what I tried to print and it didn't work. And, that's what's left of the miner. So that's getting thrown in the grinding pit. Right, let me quickly find a seat so we can get this raid going. Because it would be very embarrassing to die whilst in the middle of trying to raid someone. Yeah, results of a perfectly normal day. I absolutely agree. Let's also trigger a save on the server. Right. There we go. Okay. We have got the save done. Yeah, and I am starting the raid up. Yes. Thank you, everyone. We will see you shortly. This is where we find out how much faster your raid is versus my raid. We'll see. Nope, you won. But yeah, thank you everyone that joined me. Thank you for all the new followers. It has been an awesome night. And now let's go say hi to Spin, who is a IRL friend of mine. Wow, the raids on console take forever. We're coming, Karsa, honest. That's cool, because I'm still waiting for the raid to actually drop. Oh, there we go.